us with the light. Fill us with the light of day. Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. All thy works with joy surround the earth, and heaven reflects thy rays. Stars and angels sing around the center of unbroken praise. Field and forest, vale and mountain, flowery meadow, flashing sea, singing bird and flowing fountain, all is to rejoice in thee. Giving and forgiving, ever blessing, ever blessed, wellspring of the joy of living, ocean depth of happy rest. Thou art Father, Christ, our brother, all who live in love are thine. Teach us how to love each other, lift us to the joy divine. Star began. Father, love is raining on us. Brother, love binds man to man. Ever singing, march we onward, victors in the midst of strife. Joy, music leads us onward in the triumph song of life. Fill us with your light. Fill us with your light. Fill us with your light today. Blessed be your name, land that is plentiful, with streams of abundance flow. Blessed be your name. Blessed be your name. When I'm found in the desert place, though I walk through the wilderness, blessed be your name. Every blessing you pour out, I'll turn back to praise. When the darkness closes in, Lord, still I will say, blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. Blessed be your name. When the sun's shining down on me, when the world's all as it should be, blessed be your name. Blessed be your name. On the road marked with suffering, though there's pain in the offering, blessed be your name. Every blessing you pour out, I'll turn back to praise. When the darkness closes in, Lord, still I will say, blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. You give and take away. You give and take away. My heart will choose to say, Lord, blessed be your name. You give and take away. Give and take away. My heart will choose to say, Lord, blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your glorious name. Nobody is right all the time. Nobody can walk a straight line. Every one of us makes mistakes. Every one of us deviates. Nobody is right all the time. Nobody gets dealt the same hand. Whose life goes according to plan. No telling what the day will bring. No telling how the night will end. Why don't you sing us a song? You're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. 'Cause we're all in the mood for a melody. And you got us feeling like so. It's 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Now, John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. Yes, he might drink's free, but he's quick with a joke. Oh, he'll light off your smoke, but there's some place that he'd rather be. Oh, he said, John, I believe this is killing me. As a smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Paul, he's a real estate novelist who never had time for a wife. But he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy, and probably will be for life. Oh, and the piano, it sounds like a carnival, and the microphone, it smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar. I say, man, what are you doing here? La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Pretty good crowd for Sunday. And the manager, well, she gives me a smile. It's a busy evening tonight.
It's been a busy weekend.
It's been a busy weekend. I feel as though I've not stopped singing like for the last, I can't remember how many days now. Days and days and days.
Pretty much.
But, and eyes. Eyes
have been
singing.
interesting. The eyes have it.
And how are you doing, my love, over there in the corner?
I'm all right.
It's a long way away.
I'm all right. Yes, I can just about see you.
Yes, you can just about see me, but with my right eye, which is good, I can see you. My left eye, you look like a blob. I don't want to say any more about that.
Well, it's probably just as well.
Just as well. And how are you doing as a blob?
I'm all right. It was a lovely weekend, wasn't it? It was lovely.
It was. We have a lovely time the day we went to church down, or whatever it is.
You don't know the rest of the song, do you?
No, I didn't. And
it was lovely.
Lovely
we stayed with the lovely David and Elizabeth Hicks.
Who are watching tonight.
And they're watching tonight.
In a
hello,
tiny little
guys.
cottage in the middle of...
Oh, it's beautiful with wisteria around the door. It was just delightful.
It was.
Wasn't it? It was lovely.
We slept in the lowest single beds.
Yes,
I think
that's
it
right.
took me
They were
half an hour to
great.
get
Very
out of the bed.
comfy.
It did. I
Very
genuinely did.
comfy.
I rolled out of bed, rather than, when you try and push yourself up and there's no way up, right? Your torso, your legs come up by your chin and you're pushing yourself off and it wasn't going to happen.
Okay.
So Sue said, just roll out of bed, roll out of bed. So I rolled out of bed and the little one said, roll over. And I rolled. And one fell over, then one fell out. There were 4 in the bed, then the little one said, that's disgusting. So anyway.
Let's not go
so
further.
let's not go there. So I rolled out of bed and then he cooked us. Oh,
Lovely
it's funny, isn't it?
Lovely
Last night we finished the show, all right? And I was starving. I hadn't eaten a lot, and we'd had a low-carb lunch.
Which was great.
And we travelled. It was lovely, really lovely. But by the time I finished the show, and this is the thing, after the show, we had a great time. And
Lots of lovely people from the community. It was lovely to see people. It was a great evening.
So many, Joy and Gareth, who found their way back to Wheels.
Back to Wheels.
And Helen Smith helping with it on the table. Sam and Tony from right down the Forest Dean, right enough. So all these people and loads of other people who knew us, and most of whom didn't. The church was full. And
so well done, David and Mary.
Well done, the
Connells.
For filling out. And the lovely Jackie, the vicar.
Yeah.
Outstanding woman. Really outstanding.
Yeah, lovely.
And it was an improvised evening in so many ways, which I'm seeing more is... I know
you find this hard to believe, but the work of fiction is just that, really. Nothing happened. Anyway, what happened on the way home, Mr. Veira?
Well, you got in the car to turn the lights on, and something has gone, probably the fuse, for the main headlamps. So all the way back through the deepest, darkest countryside of the Cotswolds, for 15 miles, I had to just clasp the main beams. It was only work if you clasped them, and they had the side lamps, but the side lamps in pitch blackness.
No, they did nothing.
Not with these eyes, you're joking. So I had to keep my hands on the flash, and when cars were coming towards you in a single track road, I tell you, it was a very long 40 minutes.
It was indeed.
Along that little track, and we arrived in, and I got it. I thought, thank the Lord for that. I was amazed the police.
And you were exhausted, and on the table
when
this
they walked in the door in this beautiful little cottage was a spread fit for a king. Cheese, ladies and gentlemen, a particular blue brie that was just and sourdough crackers and bread, and I can't even think, chicken liver pate. It was like it was a menu fit for a king. And poor Sue, she can't have too much cheese, so she was eating. But
I loved it. I was given tomato soup, which is one of my most favourites.
At 11:30 at night. So at 12:30, 1 o'clock, we went to bed.
Great.
And we slept on. It was a case of the 3 bears. I felt that it was on who slept on my bed, the little bed. I slept. I was sleeping on. I hadn't slept down. And we slept like.
I don't think you could be confused with Goldilocks.
I think I could. And so I slept on that bed, and I slept so well.
You did. We did. It was lovely. Fantastic.
Finally. So that's what we've got. We've got the lovely Cindy Kent for you tonight, who's in the room. She's staying the night. She's going to sing you a few songs, telling her incredible story. And I think, ordinary people, extraordinary lives. I think that's where
it's going to be great.
It's going to be great. But before that, I'm going to sing a few songs, and then we're having the lovely Roger Jones from Bromsgrove up in the Midlands somewhere, I think it is, otherwise known as the place where rubbish is collected. I think it's known as.
No.
And he's going to be talking about the Appledore Festival, and I'm going to be singing in. But he's going to be talking about all of that at about 25 past 8. I'm going to sing a few songs for people that I haven't sung for. But it's a pretty good crowd for a Sunday.
It is.
And the manager, she gives me a smile. she knows that it's me they've been coming to see, to forget about life
For a while.
Oh, and the piano, it sounds like a carnival, and the microphone, it smells like a beer, and they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar. I say, man, what are you doing here? La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la la. Sing it right now, come on everybody. Sing us a song, you the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Sounds my way. Welcome you again to another JV live from the Steinway Room. Let's have another song. I think, why don't we sing The Promise of His Grace? Can you do that on the backing track, please? Let's have The Promise of His Grace. And this one is...
This is for Chloe. She asked for it last week. It's very special to her. So over to you, JV.
Across the changes through the years, eternal God. Let me start that again. I wasn't ready. No, sorry, I've lost my glasses.
You missed. Oh, that was a good start.
Have you?
You still haven't had it, Chloe.
And you will.
Would you like me to go and find your glasses for you?
They're going to be. I've taken them off somewhere.
Oh, of course you have.
Here they are.
Oh,
anyway, I'm going to. I'll do it from the piano. I'll do it from the piano.
Yeah, do it from the piano.
The changes through the years, eternal God, your love comes down to lead us on. So as we walk with you, our every step is holy ground. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. And we will seek to know you more in every word of every prayer, and you will keep your timeless faithfulness through every breath. You will be there. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. If doubts and fears come closing in, we lean on you when strength may fail. And Father God, you pour your Spirit down, the clouds will clear, the truth prevail. You are the God of endless love, the Lord of every time and place. You are the hope beyond our humanness. This is the promise of your grace. This is the hope for all the world, the nails that held God in our place. This is the love that brings forgiveness. This is the promise of His grace.
And we also dedicate this to lovely Lisa Ashton and her mummy and daddy, who are in a difficult situation. Her mummy is very poorly, so we think of Lisa.
Lovely Lisa, and we should get her back in.
Yeah, we should do actually, but I think she's got her hands full at the moment.
Yeah, but we will do. This one I didn't do. I haven't practiced one, but I think this was for somebody last week, and I come to the garden. Who was it for, Sue?
Oh, somebody suggested it, I think, didn't they? Give me a second and I'll find out.
I'll play it. And I sing this for my mother as well, she eventually will be listening tomorrow. And I think it's just a nice thing to do. And
actually, I dedicate this to Erica and David, who are watching tonight.
Lovely to have you guys in. Always lovely to have new people in, people that we didn't know were in. People every time we watch.
Of course, it was Brenda.
Brenda
from Thornley. Well, she's not from Thornley, but that's how we know her. So.
Right, okay. It's a real old Jim Reeves song. I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses. And the voice I hear falling in my ear, the Son of God discloses, and He walks with me and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. And the sound of His voice is so sweet. The birds hush their singing, and the melodies that He gave to me within my heart is ringing, and He walks with me and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever
Lovely.
It's a real crooner song, that one, isn't
John
it?
Bowen enjoyed that. He said memories of dear Sam. They used to sing it together.
Oh, yeah, Sam, his brother. What a couple of guys. They would sing. They would preach and sing. They go out and sing together. Back in the day when you used to be able to do that, and it was quite. Now, who else have I got to sing for?
Promise of Respect, All That Matters, Carolyn Varco. Now, what's this? Her husband,
So
had he
her
been
husband,
alive?
her late husband, Carolyn, your late husband, David, would have been 90 today. And so very special memories for you. She lost David just before lockdown, I seem to remember. So lockdown was hard for her, and she became a very valued member of the community. And I think we were able to help her a little bit. So thinking of you, Carolyn, and your friend as you remember your late husbands.
Let's have the backing track for that, shall we, Rachel?
Here's life in all its mystery, beauty and tragedy, the silence and the symphony, and everything between. And deep inside the heart of man, the need to know and understand. Are we a part of some great plan, or just a passing dream? Philosophers philosophize, but rarely look you in the eyes. Politics is compromise that rides the ebb and flow. And money talks and fashion screams to fill the space inside your dreams. If you want something to believe, I'll tell you what I know. My maker is my savior, my creator is also my friend, and to find him and his favor is all that matters in the end. Age decrees, we may not speak in certainties, but that's what Jesus is to me. He's the bedrock of my soul, a savior who can really save, a power stronger than the grave, the greatest gift I'll ever have, the deepest joy I know. My maker is my savior, my creator is also my friend, and to find him and his favor is all that matters in the end. My savior, my creator is also my friend, and to find him and his favor is all that matters in the end. He's all that matters in the end. In the end. Great song, and All Matters in the End, recorded on my album. I think it was number one. That was what it was. It was Lockdown Sessions number one. Now that's 3 years old on its own.
Goodness, how did that happen? We're going to go to Roger now. And Roger Jones, the lovely Roger Jones, who's joining us by Zoom from Bromsgrove. Let's just show he's action-packed for sure. And, mate, I hope you're in somewhere there. You've been waiting patiently, Roger, for the last 5 minutes while we did that lovely song, All That Matters in the End. One of the great songs that the Thingy Dunn, wrote Judy Dunn, wrote for me. Roger, how are you?
Doing very well, thanks, Jonathan. Yeah, just returned from Cumbria, just having a break before we're off again.
Yeah, you are. You're in and around the country. You're a man in his early 30s, and which is evident from the screen. You just went prematurely grey, and you look a lot older than you are.
Oh,
But
yeah.
but you're not too bad in your early 30s, are you? You're doing well.
Yeah, we've got to stretch a bit here, Jonathan, just a bit.
Anyway, Roger, we're here to talk about. I mean, I've said I want you to come and do one of my podcasts for me in the future. Talk about ordinary lives, extraordinary people. So I just think, I think what I would like to know is about this Appledore Festival that you want to talk about with all the people, all lovely people in the community, if they fancy a trip to Devon. Talk about it a bit for us, will you?
Yes, well, first of all, let's get the location. Appledore is a small fishing port on the North Devon coast near Barnstaple and Bideford. And this will be the third of our Christian music festivals. We just had this idea and we thought, is God really in this? And I said, Lord, you must be joking at my time of life, as young as I am, to start something new. But this will be our third one. And last year we had Paul Jones and Fiona Henley.
Yes.
And they kicked off the festival of the weekend. But this year, on Friday, the 16th of February, we've got Jonathan Veira.
That will do.
And Jonathan, you're going to be with us on the Friday night, doing an evening of your normal sort of evenings. We got loads of people coming, lots of tickets already sold, although there's still some left. But we need to promise people that on the Saturday morning, we're going to be interviewing. I'm going to be interviewing you for my radio show, Heart and Soul, you and Sue. And we're kind of all agog and with our breaths bated to hear what Sue's got to say about Jonathan.
Yeah. Can I just say,
I think
don't hold your
Jonathan's
breath
quite
too
worried.
much, right?
I think Jonathan's quite worried.
I think a helpline will be available afterwards for me.
Yeah, but we've got lots of other things happening. We've obviously Jonathan's doing the opening night, and we've also got a choir called the Oakville Singers, which is a robed choir that's just actually depped at Worcester Cathedral whilst their choir was having a weekend off. And they're coming down from Birmingham. They're going to be doing a concert on the quayside, provided the weather's just about all right. Yeah. And then they're going to be doing a lunchtime concert. And the Sunday morning, the Oakville Singers are going to be doing my choral Eucharist setting at the communion. But you see, also, as well as Jonathan performing Friday night and Saturday morning with you, Sue, we've actually got my musical. I'm going to hold it up here now. Musical called The Torn Curtain.
Yeah.
Which is about the tabernacle, about entering his gates with thanksgiving, into his courts with praise, and then, because of Jesus, into the most holy place. It's a musical, a worship musical. Jonathan, we were thrilled that you recorded 2 of the tracks from it, but it's all part of the Appledore Christian Music Festival. So we're very excited about this.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We've booked a lovely place right on the quayside, I think. We managed to get an Airbnb there, and it looks lovely, actually. The place, I've never been to Appledore, so I've been all around there. We've done a lot of concerts in that area, but never been to Appledore, so it sounds like a lot of fun. How much are the tickets, Roger, so that we know?
The tickets, you know what? I think they're about £15, I think, for the Friday night.
Cheap at half the price.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You are the only person who people have to get tickets for. They can actually turn up for everything else free. Although we shall pass a bucket around.
Yeah. Make sure it's a big bucket. Okay.
It will be. It will be.
My wife's multiple needs have to be met in her clothes and continual makeup and her the manner to which she's become accustomed.
Yeah. Yeah. So you keep telling me. Yes.
Yeah. You'll find out a bit more on Saturday morning, I suspect, where I will shut up more and she will speak, I think.
Well, I'm really looking forward to this because, Jonathan, you've been on my show, Heart and Soul, a few times.
Yeah, I
but
have.
it's always been you do the talking, you see. So
Yeah,
well,
well-
I'm looking forward to finding out some things.
That's a shock, isn't it? Jonathan always doing the talking. What a shock.
I knew that would surprise you, sir. But Jonathan, you've taken two of my songs on the Torn Curtain album.
Yes.
One, that hymn, "It Is a Thing Most Wonderful," and we've also put into the musical a song I wrote called "Precious and Honored," which is what people hear God sing to them with words based on Isaiah 43 about how precious and honored they are in His sight, and that's where in the most holy place. You know, when the curtain was torn, when Jesus died, it says the curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. And that's an amazing visual aid of how it means everybody, any one of us through Jesus can come into His presence and actually have a right to be there. I think it's just immense.
Immense. Well, we're going to have a good time. I'm looking at those songs again because it's the thing.
You've got the music now, so you'll be fine.
God's own hand should come from heaven. Remember that song, everybody? It is a thing most wonderful, almost too wonderful to be. We used to sing it at Sunday school.
Yep.
That God's own Son should come from heaven and die to save a wretch like me. I remember as a child loving that harmony, Roger.
Oh,
That
a bit of
simple-
dramaticism going in there, Jonathan.
Oh, it is. That's lovely. And this one, as Tim was like, well, no, it's wonderful to that God's on Son. Now I've got it. Now I've got that head in my tune, which come from him, and died to save a wretch like me. And it's listen. You can go online. You can hear this, but it's a great song. And I look forward to being with you all, and we have a lovely weekend because we're going straight from there up to Wales on the Sunday. To spend a week doing some teaching and concerts up at the Christian Endeavour place up in Conwy.
Yeah, at Beechwood Court. You're following
That's
us.
the one. You've
we've
been
just
there
done
many
a weekend
times.
there.
Yeah. So we're travelling all over the place at the moment. May is a very in between doing opera evening. I've got opera evening with my my students at university on Tuesday. And we're it's all around the place. And Sue burying people like there's no tomorrow. So I think, well, for them it isn't. Well, there is. But we will be looking forward to coming up. Is it next weekend? No, the weekend after. The weekend after. I lose all count of time. And Roger, I'm still jealous. You've got more hair than me. You've always had more hair than me.
Yes.
It seems somehow God's blessing is resting upon your head more than it is upon mine. All right.
What can I say, Jonathan? I mean, the Lord's grace, as you say.
Yes, exactly. Hey, look, I'd love to see you and Mary when we come up there, and we'll have a lovely time. We give our love to her, and if you need, Sue will be bringing with her when she comes up from Bromsgrove some big black bags for the rubbish. Okay, I'm just trying to help you with the rubbish.
Just you listen. Bromsgrove is not in Birmingham.
Oh, no.
We are still having our rubbish collected.
You can say it, but you've got your rubbish up there. We will be shoveling some of it up as we leave. Okay? All right. Okay. God bless you, mate. It's lovely to have you. See you soon. And thanks for coming on, Roger. See you. Bye. Bye. Lovely to have the nicest guy. The nicest guy. And we're going to have a lovely video. And then afterwards, what's happening is... Oh, his eyes on the sparrow. Right, I'll do this one. Okay.
This one is in particular for everyone who is struggling with life at the moment and could really use a hug. You know who you are, and we just want to say we love you guys, but if you're struggling with life at the moment, you've lost someone that you love, or that you're just feeling a bit sad and wobbly, then this one is for you.
Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? Why should my heart feel lonely and long for heaven and home? When Jesus is my portion,
a constant friend is here. His eyes on the sparrow, and I know he watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on that little sparrow, and I know he watches. I know he watches. Yes, I know he watches you and me. Oh. Next, it'll be Cindy.
A lot of the stuff that I sing in opera, of course, is very depressing. I mean, that's the truth. It's usually about death and dying, isn't it, opera? Now, those of you who don't know me, I'm an opera singer. That's what I spend my life doing. And, but before I became an opera singer and became the megastar, international, fantastic person I am today, I wanted to be Billy Joel, Elton John. I grew up in the 70s, yeah. Not the 1870s, it's dirty rumour. But when I was at home, 1960 I was born, I'm 44 now, and all the stuff that was around there, the Beatles, and then Elton John came up. Now I learned the piano, Mum and Dad are here tonight, and they said, you've got to go out and play the piano, classical stuff. And rock and roll really wasn't the way it was done. And we didn't have, I think we had, I'm trying to remember, Mum, what was it? We started with, when I was 11, and it was, Mother of mine, you gave to me all of my life to do as I please. I'd like to give you what you gave to me, mother, sweet mother of mine. Now, don't applaud, really, we haven't got that much time. And my mother sat there, I remember it was 1971, and she was weeping her heart out, as she indeed, today, she is still doing it. So there was I didn't think I wanted to sing opera. I remember going to an opera in 1973 and thinking that's one thing I will never, ever, ever, ever do in my life is become an opera singer. I went to see Wagner. And a guy was starring in it, and not too long ago, in fact 2 years, I was at Glyndebourne, and he was singing the main role in this opera I'd seen in 1973, and then this time I was singing the main role. And he said, oh, you saw me then? He said, did you think I was marvellous? I said, I think it was the most boring thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Remind me not to do it again. And how did I end up there? Well, I went to college to study, I think, primarily to be a teacher, but I felt somewhere I wanted to do this kind of rock and roll. So I would listen to it on the radio, on Capital FM, and then I'd go to school, and instead of playing out in the playground, I was a sad little child. I used to go into the practice room, and I used to learn as much as I could from, you remember it, Elton John songs, or... It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. Not one of those who can easily hide. What was he singing through the 70s? Who knows? Don't have much money, but if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. If I was a sculptor, but then again, no, or a man who makes potions in a traveling show. Oh, I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that it's put down in words. How wonderful life is when you're in the world. Well, I sat on the roof and I kicked off the moss. Well, a few of the verses, well, they got me quite cross, but the sun's been quite kind. While I wrote this song, it's for people like you that keep it turned on. So excuse me for getting, but these things I do, well, you see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really need, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that it's put down in words. How wonderful life is when you're in the world. I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that it's put down in words. How wonderful life is when you're in the world.
Yes, well, good evening, and it's good evening to a very special guest we have here, a real superstar of the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and now the whatever we are in now. Hello, Cindy, how are you?
I wondered who you were talking about
I
for
know,
a minute.
it's
there.
got to
It
be
sounded
you.
Good.
Can only be you.
Oh, bless.
And she's looking great, and your camera's there and there, so you can do that. And it's great to have you in the new Steinway. You are the very first guest we have in, the very first. And we've been talking about doing this live for some time, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
We've been talking about it. You came in, some of you may remember, I think she's come in twice when we were in lockdown, or once in lockdown, twice, whatever. And we talked about a little bit about your life. But today, it's going to be a nice in-depth chat and here. And I thought we were just messing around. We were just messing around, were we not? We were talking about old times. And we're talking about people that we met. And tell me, we would. If you remember, I did last week. I did. I remember. No. What was it? Laughter. Oh, I hear laughter in the rain, walking hand in hand with the one I love. Oh, how I love the rainy days and the happy days I feel inside. And people all talked about Neil Sedaka and how they liked him. Well, I saw him on video. Now we're going to have a. This is going to be, and I have to tell you, people, this is going to be a whole evening of one-upmanship. Okay,
Oh, no,
she
it's
is going to be. No, she is fantastic because she goes, "Oh yeah, I mentioned Billy Joel," and she went, "Oh yeah, I remember talking to him on a flight over." When you were in the States.
It's very very true. I was coming back from America and there was this young guy sitting behind me and we were chatting away like you do on a plane. And it turned out that that's who it was. And he was asking me what the audiences were like and what it was going to be like and everything. And I just couldn't believe it when the next thing I knew, there's this superstar.
Singers the song, you're the piano man.
He was, brilliant.
That's phenomenal. My story was only that I was coming home from the show in Barbados. We'd done it with Stuart Copeland, the drummer from the Police.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd written this two-hander opera for me and another guy. And it was the only time I'd appeared in Hello magazine. And I was
you're such a name
Hello
dropper,
magazine,
honestly.
yeah. But here it was. I was standing and I had my arm round his wife in the hotel. It was a do, first night do, and it had a picture with me, and it says so and so. I can't remember her name now. With minor celebrity Jonathan Veira.
I love it.
To puncture a man's... Anyway, the Neil Sedaka story is...
Oh, well, yes, he was at a hotel and I was part of a group and I danced with him
You were
several
part of the
times.
group called The Settlers.
Oh, sorry, yes. No, it was long after that, actually. This was just in another setting, which I won't bore you with. But I happened to be there at this reception and he came over and he danced with me several times and it was great fun.
Oh,
Nice man.
It's a
And what a
lovely-
voice, what a great voice.
Yeah, and just song after song, hit after hit.
Exactly.
You know, I think that was what was wonderful. And when I went boom 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 dooby doo down down, come on down dooby doo down down, come on down dooby doo down down. I'm breaking up his heart to do. Don't take your love away from me. Don't you leave my heart in misery. If you go, then I'll be blue, 'cause breaking up is hard to do. Remember when you held me tight and you kissed me all through the night. Think of all that we've been through, 'cause breaking up is hard to do. They say that breaking up is hard to do. And now I know that it's true. I don't say this is the end. Instead of breaking up, I wish that we were making up again. I beg of you, don't say goodbye. Can we give our love another try? Come on, baby, let's start anew, 'cause breaking up is hard to do. Come on, do down, down. Down, do down, down. Come on, down, do downtown. Breaking up is hard to do.
Woo! That was fun.
Let me see.
That was fun.
You said 2 minutes ago I'm nervous. Why did you got to be nervous?
Well, I've never sung that in my life
have
before.
performed all over the world.
Very true.
Massive stages, television shows extraordinaire.
King of England, Queen of Russia, all the pubs you can think of.
Oh, the lines are the best. The old
Thank you.
That was good.
Thank
Now,
you.
wasn't that good fun?
It was. I loved it. Yeah, but
So,
I've never done it in my life.
What we
before.
want, I know, but I don't mind that. What we want are people's responses and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Any comments?
Only if it's nice.
Well, if it's horrible, if it's funny, I don't mind. Sidney, I think actually for a lot of the 60s, 70s and 80s, this was your world, wasn't it?
Well, the 60s and early 70s, yes. I met a couple of guys in a pub, a folk club, and they got me to sing with them, and they couldn't get rid of me after that. And we formed a group called the Settlers, and we went on and did all sorts of things. And we were together for 11 years, which is a long time for a group.
Long time.
A long time. And we were... Oh, gosh.
Well, that's nice.
Was it something I said?
It goes off for every hour, doesn't it?
What's that?
My phone.
Your
What's
phone.
that doing? I hate that. Anyway.
Oh
go
dear.
on.
Anyway,
Up at 9,
that's
go on.
all right. Yes. So we did that, and it was absolutely great fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed every single solitary minute of it. The one hit we had, which you may remember, was a children's television series called Follyfoot, and it was the lightning tree. Where the wind blows free, in the middle of a field stands a lightning tree. Limbs all torn from the day it was born, for the tree was born in a thunderstorm. Grow, grow, the lightning tree, never too late for you and me. Grow, grow, the lightning tree, never too late for you and me. Stop. Now, here's an interesting story about that. We did a show at the Royal Festival Hall. We used to do a concert there every year.
Yes, yes.
And there was a guy sitting in the audience whose brother had been asked to produce Follyfoot. And we did The Rhythm of Life, We had a great version of it from Sweet Charity, and it was all that sort of stuff. The guy, on the strength of that, went home and wrote Lightning Tree, said to his brother, I've got the signature tune and I know the group are going to sing it. Isn't that amazing?
Isn't that incredible? I mean,
what are the odds?
They just saw you. So the Rhythm of Life, which is quite an intricate.
Oh yeah, it was. Especially our arrangement of it.
So did you do all of the? Did you do every one of the female voices? Did you? But there just one, or was it everybody singing?
Well, there were only 3 voices in the group usually, and we all just took a part each.
Just took a part each, and that was a 3.
That was it. Same thing. Very much like the Lightning Tree, actually. But it was Rhythm of Life, great song, and we always used to finish the show with it, and it was a showstopper. It was brilliant. And this guy literally went home and wrote on the strength of that. You think, well, what are the odds?
And it was Follyfoot, because we were trying to remember it.
Yeah, it was.
What was it? Was that because I don't think I ever watched it. I knew the tune.
It wasn't aimed at you, actually.
Who was it aimed at?
And it was aimed at young girls, really, because it had a dishy guy who sadly only just died recently. Steve Hodson took his funeral just a few weeks ago. Seriously, yeah. His family got in touch and said because of the connection, would I take his funeral? And so and it was young people. The guy that played M in
Bond.
The Bond movies, Llewellyn, somebody?
Yes.
Can't remember his name.
Yes.
Anyway, he was in it, and there were several other people in it as well. But it was a great series. It ran for about 3 or 4 years, and wherever we went, we got plagued. Oh, do the Lightning Tree, But it was interesting because we recorded it. They flew us up to somewhere like Leeds. We recorded this song, and then we recorded something that might possibly be a B-side. They released it. We didn't think anything of it. I mean, we'd released lots of singles over the years that didn't make the charts. This one wasn't going to be any different. We went off on a cruise. Used to do lots of working cruises, which were fabulous. Yes. And we suddenly got a telegram. Can you remember telegrams?
Listen, I wish I was younger. But no, I do remember. Sue, definitely over in the corner. Sue, you remember the old telegram, don't you? I'm just saying.
I do.
Thank you. Just checking.
Sounded like you were getting married then. I do. So we got this.
Can I do it again?
That was
can I undo it?
She can. I don't.
No, not allowed.
Those 3 words I do not.
So we got this telegram from our manager saying, you better learn that song because it's just gone into the charts.
You didn't even know that.
Well, we didn't sing it because it wasn't a song that you would do as part of an act, really. No, it was a sig tune. Anyway, we rummaged in the guitar cases and found the dots. And can you remember what key it was and who sang what? And and we literally sat there in the cabin on board the ship. So when we got back, of course, there it was as a hit. We had to do it in the act every night, which was amazing.
Which is actually quite tricky because the recording itself, you
double
layer
track.
You layer the track. Yeah. Which it becomes like some parts of it you could do, but you couldn't do other bits.
Well, it sort of managed to do it. It sounded okay with 3 parts doing the doops bits and everything. But it's great fun.
It's quite interesting how the voice, because I listened to it and it's in C minor. It is.
Thank you.
And it's.
It was high. It was high. My voice has dropped.
But what's it like being known for a tune like that? Because when people ask for it, there's this. Frankie was always, they were going, do it my way. They'd be shouting out in the audience, and my own thing in the Christian fields was always people saying, Christian King of Kings, always King of Kings. It was always King of Kings, and it didn't matter where I went, it was King of Kings who did King of Kings, and or You Raised Me Up. That was I suppose that was the other one. Would that be about right, Sue? Yeah. That You Raised, those are the 2 that and that song became. And I thought, I know. And I didn't even want to record that song. So it's interesting.
Absolutely. But people would forget what it was called, and all we heard them shout was, do Follyfoot.
Yes.
It almost sounded like a swear word, actually, at one point, that people shouting it so often. But we did it. But anyway, listen, you take what you get, don't you?
You do. It's why it makes me cross when some stars who say, I'm sick and tired of singing. You think this is a song that gave you the life that you have, that kicked you off into being able to record 25 albums. Don't knock your popularity. Yeah. There was some other singer who he came out from opera, and he came out and he talked about opera being a pain and I didn't want to do it. I thought this gave you a beginning.
Exactly.
It gave you a start.
Exactly. Yeah.
Should we do this one?
Should we do this song? Yeah, it's got
Let's
a
talk
nice,
about this one.
Yeah, it's got a nice little story. It's called "I Am Your Servant," and it's written by the late great Larry Norman. Remember Larry Norman?
I do.
Wonderful.
Why should all the devil? Why should the devil?
Why
have
should
all
the
the
devil
good
have
music?
all the good music? Well, I was putting a solo album together, and I was looking for one more song, and somebody suggested I go and meet Larry Norman. We met in a deserted studio with just one single light above the grand piano, and he played me this song, and I had my tape recorder with me, and he said, "I haven't given this to anybody else. It's brand new." And as he sang it, I thought, I don't believe it. That has just got to be the best lyrics I think I've ever come across.
Yeah.
So we did it, and it became the title track of the album. Not only that, when we did it on the album, we did it live with a string quartet.
Live.
And that was because they kind of moved with me, if you know what I mean, slowed and moved. And it was just lovely. And it's a long time since I've sung it, but should we ever go at it now?
Have a go. We ran it through a couple of times. So let's see what we can do if we can remember it.
I'll try. I am your servant. I am listening for my name. I sit here waiting. I've been looking at the game that I've been playing. I've been staying much the same. When you are lonely, you're the only one to blame. I am your servant. I am listening for the call, but I've been unfaithful, so I sit here in the hall. How can he use me when he knows I'll quickly fall? How can he choose me when I know I've given all? But he feeds my soul and he makes me grow, and he lets me know he loves me. And I'm worthless now, but I've made a vow. I will humbly bow before thee. Oh, please use me. I am lonely. I am your servant, getting ready for my call. There's been a change, a rearrangement in my heart. At last I'm learning, no returning once I start. To live's a privilege, to love is such an art. But I need your help to start. Oh, please purify my heart. I am your servant.
Yeah, people really enjoyed that. Lots of hearts for that one.
Oh,
Lots of
thank you.
hearts.
I mean, the lyrics are just amazing, aren't they?
They are.
And it's how we all feel, isn't it, in front of God?
I
We
think
are-
that's what people responded to. I think it just sort of hit the nail on the head for them.
Yeah, I think that's probably something we should all, as Christians, say to him every day.
Just read it out for us again.
Excuse
Just
me,
read
God.
it out for a bit.
I am your servant. I am listening for my name. I sit here waiting. I've been looking at the game that I've been playing. I've been staying much the same. When you're lonely, you're the only one to blame. I am your servant. I am listening for the call. I've been unfaithful, so I sit here in the hall. How can he use me when I've never given all? How and why does he choose me when he knows I'll quickly fall? But he feeds my soul and he makes me grow and he lets me know he loves me. And I'm worthless now, but I've made a vow. I will humbly bow before thee. Oh, please use me. I am lonely. I am your servant, getting ready for my part. There's been a change, a rearrangement in my heart. At last I'm learning. No returning once I start. To live is a privilege. To love is such an art. But I need your help to start. Please purify my heart. I am your servant. Powerful lyrics.
They really are. I love that. There's been a rearrangement.
Yes, that
It's
gets
a
me every
real-
time
it
I
does,
sing it.
it does, doesn't it?
It's one of those. And I mean, again, you know, this is what God wants us to do, doesn't he? He wants us to say to him, "Hey, you know, here am I. Use me."
Yeah.
This is another way
Yeah.
of saying it, isn't it?
And I've screwed up. I love this kind of. I'm a screw up, but you know what? it would be really nice if you could use me. But I mean, I know what I am.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
It's like the Lord help me, Jesus.
I've wasted
I've
it.
wasted it so. Help me, Jesus.
I
I
know
know
what
what
I
I am. Now that I know that I needed you so, help me, Jesus. My soul's in your hands.
Great song.
My Lord. Whatever I
Mary
ever done.
John, somebody or other. I can't remember the name
Yeah,
that wrote it.
yeah.
Was it you?
And it's just when Christopherson, he sung it, remember?
That's right. Yes.
And he sung it and introduced it. He's playing this beaten up old guitar, and he sings it with a voice like gravel.
Yes.
And it's like, Lord help me, Jesus. and it has this. It is.
Good impression, that.
Oh, it
He
was.
I thought he was in the room for a minute.
Oh, Jesus. I wasted it. And you think this is not a singing voice, but that made it even more
Yeah,
crucial.
it did, yeah. Yeah, very much.
Especially
I rely
when
on
he
that about voices, you know.
The worse, the better, the worse they are.
The worse the sound,
You
the worse
love
the
it.
sound. Then you know the lyrics. Yeah.
But that thing, finding the lyric that is the killer lyric.
Yeah.
I sing one by Paul Field, God of the Moon and Stars.
Oh,
I'm going
love
to do
it.
later.
Great guy, yeah.
And God of the Moon and Stars, I sung it last night for the final song, and somebody has requested it tonight. And I sing it because it's got God of the, everybody that we wouldn't choose.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Right, and I sing, and so I sung last night after we got home. The people we were staying with, they said, "I see you saw the drop to God of the Pimp and Paedophile." He wrote that in, and the first time I recorded it, 2003, I couldn't sing it. I just said, "I can't do it. It's too much."
Yeah, yeah.
And what I realised, because he'd written it, and what I realised was that I drew the line
Yeah.
where God didn't. You
Yeah.
know, and that for me was one of the big things. I drew the line where God doesn't, and we don't want to. We want to punish them. We want them to do something else. But God of the Pimp and Paedophile, and I could tell there was a bristle in the audience, and it's the God of the Refugee again, another one.
Yeah.
Not right now. Could we not sing that word now because it's?
But also, it ties in with the story of the thief on the cross, doesn't it? You know, I mean, there's this guy. We don't know what he did.
No.
He might have done something really quite heinous, apart from nicking somebody's lunch or something. Yeah. And yet Jesus says to him, "You're going to be with me in paradise today."
Yeah,
I always hang on to that. There's nothing I can do today to make God love me less.
No.
That's my
No,
that's my stock
yes,
phrase at the
yes.
moment. Nothing I can do to make him love me. Hey, but nothing I can do to make him love me more. See,
No,
I mean, it's
all right.
win-win, isn't it? Really.
I think that's probably, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Why you became somebody who was the purveyor of God's love.
Good heavens.
How about that then?
Ooh, that's a
salesman
purveyor of
on
God's
behalf
love.
of God.
Wow.
Okay, a vicar who stands in the place. How about that? Stands vicariously. It's a great one. It's a good song. Never come across it before.
Thank you. Yes, it's a nice one.
Now
You can
what
use
we'll
it if you
do.
like.
I will. I quite like this actually. It's very simple. That would be great.
Yeah. that'd be
I'm
good.
your servant. Now this
What are we
one-
going to do now?
Now I think because what we'll do, we'll sing another song. Yeah. Any comments, Sue? From
Oh yeah, people are just loving it. Yeah, they're enjoying it, enjoying the singing, enjoying the chat,
Good.
enjoying the energy.
energy.
nice.
That's it. It's the now we were just talking about this one. And I think it'd be nice if we all joined in on this one. So Rachel, you're going to have to choose the machine that you've bought for this very occasion online. And don't forget, we're here in Guildford, and Rachel is up there in Barrow-in-Furness. And to the chat. So the whole notion of this is quite weird, really, isn't it?
Yes, but it's a brilliant song, and I mean, we used to do it in our act when I was with the Settlers, and it was one of those that every night you could hear a pin drop. You know, you
Yes.
could hear people loving the words, and I think we were one of the first people to sing it, and it was just so powerful when you think about it. You can picture the people we're going to sing about.
Yes.
Each verse is about one person. I see that old girl. I see that
yes.
old boy. I see they're there, aren't they? And we, of course, you walk around the streets of London,
And
you see them there now. Sadly.
And last night, one of the things that somebody commented was about this, and it's something that Adrian, who was online watching tonight, I think Adrian is with us tonight, and Pinnock, who's chairman of the charity that we run here from here. Yeah. Now called You've Got a Friend Trust, and anybody wants any help tonight, then please write to Adrian or any of the trustees, or indeed us, and we can redirect you directly to the charity. Who, if you've got a need, something like need some money, you've fallen on hard times and you need something to help you over then just contact us and we will try and do what we can to help you. We've helped, I think, nearly 100 people now already with various gifts and beds and cookers and fridges and things that actually suddenly, when the bills hit and you have no one else to turn to, then you've got a friend, Trust, is there for you. But we say often it means that people feel seen, Cindy, because what I think we were talking to people again last night. We were talking about the fact I go up, what I do in concerts, I deliberately go before and I meet all the audience, I shake them by the hand. And I go up to women, and particularly women over in their mid-70s, where they feel invisible. People don't look at them anymore. They don't count anymore. Older women do not count. And you're no longer... suppose somebody said to me, I'm no longer a viable member of the community. What am I? And they don't hug me. They don't. And I made a fuss of a lady who was sitting in the second row, and she had some bling on, so I got her to stand up and show the bling. And she was so moved by the songs, but she was seen, and it was I see you, and that's what God says. He says, I see you. And the vicar last night, Jackie, lovely, lovely woman, and she said, that's what he said to you, Jonathan, God knows you. He knows your name is Jonathan Veira. He knows your name is Cindy Kent. He knows you and loves you and names you. And I think that is a very special thing. A very special thing.
It certainly is, and if only we could get that message out more, because I think the church hides that message very well sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, why does it do it?
But no, I don't know. But I mean, I talk to people on the tube. I love it. I wear the dog collar all the time because you get into fantastic conversation. If you want a quiet journey, don't wear your dog collar. And people say to me, "Oh, honestly though, Vicar, if you knew what I'd done, he couldn't love me." And you go, "Well, think of the thief on the cross. Think, and you start quoting all these people. Who was it that sent his wife, this bloke away to get killed so he could get his leg over his wife? David. Right. And they go, what? Yeah. And you think, yes, that's the God I love, and that's the God that loves you. Yeah. But we don't say that enough, do we?
Well, we're quick to judge.
Oh, too quick.
We're quick to judge. And I remember it was a very famous preacher who said, in the Bible, judgment is mentioned more than mercy. Therefore, I would surmise that God is more a God of judgment than he is a God of mercy. Oy and I know, oy vey, which is all I can say. And I honestly, this is a much respected man. I'm not going to mention his name here. And I just, if I had been in there, I would have stood up and said, no, I am not accepting a number count as making a prioritizing of God's love, of God's judgment over mercy. And so his mercy is from everlasting to everlasting. Yeah. So what is it about mercy you don't understand? So I love this. And this thing, the times when I've been most blessed are the times I've stopped and talked to these people.
Yes.
Exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just, they feel that you care. Because we live in a culture where people don't care.
We walk past each other, everybody's doing their own thing. It's all quick and we're stopping and actually, as you said earlier on, I see you. Yeah. And they feel seen, and we all need to feel seen. God sees us, which is brilliant.
It is. So on that note, it's a lovely song.
C sharp? Sorry.
We're doing it.
I wonder what note it is.
There's a C sharp.
Yeah, I know. I didn't.
But I don't want that note. I want this note.
Thank you. Honestly, my humour is wasted on you.
No, it isn't. It really is. but it's not humour as we know it, is it? Thank
you. Change of gear.
Have you seen your man in the closed down market, kicking up the paper with his worn out shoes?
In his eyes you'll see no pride, hands held loosely by his side. Yesterday's paper telling yesterday's news.
So how can you tell me
you're lonely, and say for you that the sun don't shine. Let me take you by the hand, I'll lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind. Have you seen the old girl who walks those streets of London? Dirt in her hair and her clothes in rags. She's got no time for talking, no, she just keeps right on walking, carrying her home in 2 carrier bags.
Join us soon.
So how can you tell me you're lonely, and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand, I'll lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind. In the all-night cafe at 11:15, same old man is sitting there on his own, looking at the world over the rim of his teacup. Each tea lasts an hour, and then he wanders off alone. So how can you tell me you're lonely, and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand, I'll lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind. Have you seen the old man outside the Seaman's Mission? Memories fading with those yellow ribbons that he wears. In our winter city, the rain cries a little pity for one more forgotten hero in a world that doesn't care. So how can you tell me you're lonely, and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand, I'll lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind.
One more time.
So how can you tell me you're lonely, and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand, I'll lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something that'll make you change your mind.
What a great version. That'll go down. A trio there singing
Yeah.
harmony. I haven't sung that either for years.
Oh, I think we should form a group.
What do we call the unsettled?
Or we could be called the Sittlers.
The Sittlers. Something old. That's great.
Sitters.
Isn't it?
The
Singing.
Sitters.
Look, you see, you started with all of this when we got together, Cindy. Sue was, I suppose you'd be more like folk, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
You
I was much
you were
more a
folk
folky
clubby
singer
girl.
than anything. Yeah.
Oh, up at Manchester when Sue was at
Yeah.
Manchester University,
Yeah.
she did a lot of singing with singer-songwriters, that kind of thing, you know. And so that song was the one that we used to sing all the time.
We used to sing it together,
It's
dear,
your
didn't
song.
we?
Well,
It's
no,
our
that's
song.
the one. I like the way your sparkling earrings lay against your skin so brown. Eagles.
Oh, she's gone all wobbly.
And I'd like to sleep with you in the desert tonight, with a million stars all around. I've got a peaceful, easy feeling, and I know you won't let me down, 'cause I'm already standing on the ground. One of the Eagles' hits.
Yes.
And we recorded a cassette in 82, 83. Just the two of us for the family for Christmas, because we had no
You
money.
still got it?
Oh, I think we probably have, because
probably
my
have. It's
mother...
so-
my
copy.
Jonathan and Sue. No, it was terrible.
No,
it wasn't.
in lieu of a fee, I demand a cassette.
No, we'll pay you. It's all
I'd
right.
rather have a cassette.
No, because you'll make it publicly
I will,
available.
I will. I should have, yes,
And the next thing I see, it'll be, and here we see it, Jonathan Veira in the early days.
Oh, dear.
But Sue, how have you felt your voice over the years? You are now topping 106 years old, which is unbelievable, really. But
you.
have you noticed a change in your voice?
Yeah, it's gone down. I can't reach those top
You can't
notes.
reach top
I was
notes.
never really that. I was never a great singer, Jonathan. That's not false modesty. I mean, I relied on the fact that I wore mini skirts and my legs looked quite good.
Well,
And so-
I'm not going to comment
course
on
you're
that. I have seen the videos.
Thank you. But it was like, don't listen to my voice. Just kind
Well,
of look at my legs.
no. We were
I'm being
we were
facetious.
talking. We were talking about your voice today, and
Oh,
it was
yeah?
very interesting because you think about the bands that were big, Peter, Paul, and Mary, the kind of people that the Seekers. I love the Seekers. Lemon tree, very pretty, and the lemon flower is sweet. Of the fruit of the poor lemon is impossible to eat. I mean, and what was it? Give me all in my lap. Was it? No. Not singing out. What was the one that the Seekers did? We had the album.
I'll never find another. No.
There was that was a big hit. for
Nice
them.
story. Oh, go on. Finish what you're
Go
saying.
on, no.
No. Like, see, we did a television series, which is why we turned professional as the Settlers. We were doing various things, and then the BBC got in touch and said, "Come up to Scotland and do this program called Sing Along."
Yes.
And it went out straight after the news on a Monday evening at 6:25.
Live.
No, recorded.
Recorded.
So you went up there, and we spent 2 days in Glasgow, Edinburgh, wherever it was, somewhere up there, and then we came back. Meanwhile, the guys had to keep taking time off from teacher training college. I
Yes.
took time off from my job to do it, and whatever. And then about halfway through the 6 weeks, they said, "Oh, it's going to be another 6 weeks." Ended up running for 6 months, every Monday. Halfway through the college,
Sing along.
Sing along. They said, "You can't keep doing this, guys. You've got to make a decision. You either stay and finish your course or you leave." And so we had a big conflict because it was a big step.
Oh,
And so anyway, we took the step. We said, "Okay, let's turn pro," which we did.
Yeah.
And so we used to go on up there to Scotland, and we had various guests on. And one week, we met these 4 youngsters from Australia.
Yeah.
With
a double bass.
with a girl with a long hair
Yeah.
and a tambourine,
Hello, excuse
and
me.
a bass player,
Yeah.
and 2 guitarists,
guitars,
and
yeah.
it was like, oh, that's an Australian version of us. We became firm friends.
Is that right?
Absolutely lovely, and we all went back to the same hotel and jammed.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
They came back again about 2 months later on the programme, and we were jamming back in the hotel, and they, "Hey, I'll never guess, we've just been in the," except they had an Australian accent, "we've just been in the studio, and we've recorded a song Tom Springfield wrote for us." And we went, "Really? Can we hear it?" And they got up and they sang "I'll Never Find an Idiot." Well, I think we all went green slowly. It was like,
Yes.
that had hit written all over.
all over it,
To say
yeah.
we were envious is actually not doing the disservice to the word envious. We,
No, you
and we
knew it
just
was
knew it
yours.
was going to be a smash hit.
Yeah.
But we stayed friends despite that.
It's funny, isn't it? Because you do.
Sadly, no
those
longer
little-
with us, of course, Judith. Bless her.
No, she's gone, isn't
Yeah,
she?
she has. Yeah, gone.
No, but the Seekers, we were allowed to listen to them in our Christian household.
Oh,
Yeah, we
Wow.
had a record, the Seekers, and the Salvation Army songsters. We had those. Do you remember those? Do you
no,
remember
I don't
them?
remember that.
Do you not hold the Salvation Army? They were very
Before my time,
well,
Jonathan.
they were about. Do you remember?
Oh, Cindy, you don't know what you're missing.
I'll go and
No,
look it
but
up when I get home.
I was brought up on Jim Reeves.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
know,
lovely
Can't be-
Jim.
can't be bad. We like Jim Reeves.
We love Jim
Put your
Reeves.
sweet lips a little closer to the phone. Let's pretend that we're together all alone. I'll tell the man to turn the jukebox way down low. And you can tell your friend there with you, he'll have to go.
You've got no idea how envious I am of you just being able to do what you just did then.
Really?
Totally by ear. You didn't have no dots in front of you, just did it, and you sat. And that is a God-given gift, Jonathan.
Is it?
I think
All right.
it is.
Well,
Well, we all think it is as well, Cindy, but he doesn't always
No,
realise
it
it.
really is, and you're using it for him, which is brilliant. It's wonderful.
thank you. It is a thing. I see other people not being able to do it, and I think, why can't you do that?
Well, yeah.
But I mean, it's what my friend, my producer, Mark Edwards. He's a fabulous. I mean, outstanding. He's another level. I've got a nice little MR2 out the front, the red car. But I am the MR2, which is a poor man's old sports car. Cost me nothing, by the way. And it sits there, and I think, yeah, that's nice. But the Porsche is what you really want to drive. And so he is the Porsche to my MR2. It's still a good car, and it's not bad. But you hear him.
Yeah, but those of us who are in smart cars are very envious of an MR2.
That's true. So it's all relative, isn't it?
It's all relative,
It's up
yes.
but you see, we had things like, oh, Cinnamon,
Where you gonna run
to? Oh, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Oh, Cinnamon,
Don't know the rest of
where you gonna run to? All on that day. Run to the rocks, rocks, won't you hide me? Run to the rocks, rocks, won't you hide me? Run to the rocks, rocks, won't you hide me? All on that day. The Lord said, Cinnamon, you should have been a praying. The Lord said, Cinnamon, you should have been a praying. Lord said, Cinnamon, you should have been a praying. All on that day. Oh, Cinnamon. Oh, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Oh, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? Oh, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? All on that day.
That's a good spice to add to food, isn't it? Cinnamon. Oh, sorry.
Well, that's it. That's why I was saying, oh, Cinnamon, where you gonna run to? I don't have the time.
Oh, you're
Anyway,
you're a sage, aren't you?
I am.
Let's stop.
I am. But I think actually, when we have all these things, we are blessed with the. I look at your life. We're going to talk about your life and a career in a minute, and we're going to go and sit over the other side. In the meantime, here's a little video for you to watch from Rachel. Rachel, could you just take us away? And Sue, if at the end, Sue's going to do a few announcements, and then we'll be on the chair, on the chair with Cindy Kent.
Oh, you know, every time I go out and do this tour, people ask me various things if I would do certain songs and certain sections of my show that has been in existence for years now, years and years. And the one that actually they ask for almost invariably is they go, oh, would you do that country and western thing you do? However, I'm not going to do it here, obviously, because you don't want to hear it. That's fine. Would you like a little bit of my country and western thing? The person who shouted no over on my left, get out. Thing is, that actually country and western, it is about death, depression and dogs, isn't it? Let's be honest. It is. All these titles are going, D-I-V-O-R-C-E is made final today. Me and little J-O-E will be going away. You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille. 400 children and a crop in the field. I thought he said 400. No wonder the man was depressed. Leave him alone. Oh, and there's remember Jim Reeves? Gosh, you are old, aren't you? Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone. There's a couple over there going, oh, they're playing our song. Let's pretend that we're together, all alone. That is so spooky. That was the backing singers you played there. You want to do it one more time? Now you just sound like hearing aids gone all wrong. I'll tell the man to turn the jukebox way down low. It's a lovely note, that, isn't it? Yolanda just went, why can't you be like that? All you've got is a bald head. And it's got blemishes as well. And you can tell your friend they're with you. It's so depressing. Oh, there's another one here. You're the reason our kids are ugly. Oh, my wife ran off with my best friend, and I sure do miss him. If the phone doesn't ring, it's me. If you leave me, can I come to? This one, I like this one. You have to think about this one. It goes like this one. If she hadn't been so good looking, I might have seen the train. Sick. How does I? Mama, get the hammer, there's a fly on Papa's head. It's good because I've got 300 of these. Last one, because we got to move on. Oh, my dog's dead. My grandma's, she's dead. Oh, my fish, she wish she's dead. How about you?
2, 1. Oh. And we're back, and I'm just going to give you a few notices before we have the dynamic duo on the chairs. So we had our lovely concert down in Churchdown yesterday. So as Roger said earlier on, we are off to Appledore Festival on Friday the 16th, and then the interview with the all-important Mrs. Veira the next morning, and her husband Jonathan. And then after that, we're going to be in Beechwood Court in Conwy, having a week with people there from the Monday to the Friday. As far as one-man shows are concerned, then we've got June the 14th, we're in Reading at Kennet Valley Free Church, and on the 28th, we're at Cromer Parish Church in Cromer. And then in July, we're off to Thornley Christian Hotel again at the end of July, and we're in Paynton on the 23rd of August. In September, we've got the 6th, we're in Rossendale, and then the 12th, which is not there, we are up in Troon. October, we are on the 18th. We're going to be at St John's Church in Chesterfield, back to there again. And 1 or 2 of them are sneaking into the diaries, so I will be coming up with those for you very soon. If you want to know how to get onto these one-man shows and you want to know how much the tickets are and so on, then you need to go onto the website, which is jonathanveira.com. And there you can see all the details of all the shows and how much the tickets are, how to buy the tickets, and any parking details, that kind of thing on there. If you want to ask a question about anything, it's sue@jonathanveira.com. And also on the website, we've got the shops. So if you want to buy books or CDs or whatever, they're all there as well. And so where are we going next? Oh, yes, the summer Steinway dates. Yes, we're trying to work out when we can next see you. So the 25th of May, we were hoping to have Sue Rinaldi in with us, but unfortunately it would be my first week of flying solo with the sound, and I'm not sure that I'm confident to do that. So we've had to postpone her, I'm afraid. But the 25th, we will be here. Then in June, we are hoping to do the 1st, the 15th, and the 22nd. And then in July, we're hoping to do the 20th. And what we will do will, of course, let you know when we're going to be in the Steinway Room. And guests, because Jonathan has been working hard on this.
By.
He is. If those of you who have not subscribed to YouTube, then please do so. It costs you nothing, but it would be wonderful to get more subscriptions to it. And what we need to do is to click on the thumb, click on subscribed, and hit the notification bell. And what will happen is that you will get any notification about when anything that Jonathan puts up and so on. So you're kept in the loop, but it costs you not a bean. We are going to be away day again at Stuart Macready's Place in St Catherine's Parmore on the 19th of November, which is a Wednesday, and you need to register your interest on this. So we will pin this to the top of the Facebook group so that you can take your time to actually register your interest in that.
Already interest was shown last night.
Yes, lots of interest was shown last night. Those of you who don't know what I'm talking about in terms of the JV community group, then that's our lovely Facebook group of people who are like-minded people, and they adore my husband. Well, actually, they put up with him mainly because they can talk to me. And so we have the Facebook group, which is jvlive.uk/JVCFB Facebook group, as it were. So just need to find that. You will be asked questions. If you're not a member already, you will be asked questions. Please answer them, because it makes it so much easier for us if you tell us how you know about Jonathan. They're not difficult. But if you don't do it, then it just means that it takes us a while to decide whether or not you're going to be messing up the group, because it's a lovely group. Lots of kind people, and the people that put up funny jokes are very funny, and the people that need help, that need a hug, who need just a bit of comfort, they like to put messages up there as well. So it's a very kind, inclusive group. So we like that a lot. So thank you for that. If you were paying attention, you would have been aware that Got a Friend Trust is alive and kicking. And Jonathan, you are now on screen so that you can say...
As we said earlier, if you'd like to follow any need that you have and follow it up, or somebody, a friend maybe that you know that needs something right now, that needs an arm round them, I see you, we see you. We'd like you just to get in contact with us and get in contact with either the name on the screen, and Adrian will get in contact with you and talk to you about your need, your specific need, and attempt to help in that situation. Don't be frightened, don't feel embarrassed, don't feel too proud to ask. Just simply ask, and we will attempt to help you. This group exists for you. It's existed for 5 years for you, and the members of which, there are many, many people who watch this show each week and each month, and watch it in the week and watch it around the world, people that we'd have no idea about, but you could be one of those people who need right now. So don't be frightened, just do it today and get the help that you need. I think that's it, Sue. Are we done? Well, I think actually that's us. Do you know, you've been... that was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Oh, it was great. I loved it.
A lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We messed around for 45 minutes.
Nice to get the tonsils out.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Very
Just
good,
to, and to be the fun of, you talked about sitting around the piano with your dad. You know, he died very young, didn't he?
52. Yes, heart failure. Very, very, very sad. But he had a great bass voice. And he always got the solos. He was in the local Orpheus male voice choir.
Which is phenomenal.
I know, and he always had the solos, as I say. And that was great. Mum was in a choir at the place where she worked. She's a great soprano. My sister, a wonderful soprano voice, and played the piano. She was the youngest person to get into the City of Birmingham Symphony Choir at something like 14, 15 or something like that.
Gosh.
And so we'd have great musical. I just grew up thinking everybody had musical evenings. We'd sit around the piano. My biggest regret was never learning it, and I loved playing the recorder. In fact, I'd like to learn to play the oboe because that's a wonderful instrument. Difficult, I know. But we'd have great musical evenings, so it was no surprise in a sense when I kind of joined the group, and it was almost like a natural progression.
It's ironic that you were the one that made a living of it.
Well, I know, isn't it weird? Yes, but great support from the family. My dad died before it all happened, and that's my only regret. He's watching me from up there, I know.
But he never saw you on this.
Never saw me do this. No.
He would like. Wouldn't it be nice to have him say, "Well done"?
Well, one day I shall meet him and he'll say that.
You say, "Well done," yeah.
Yeah.
But you've had for many people what would have been an enviable life, a blessed life.
Oh yeah.
A life filled with experiences and people, meeting kings and presidents and prime ministers and important people and singers and artists.
And people like you.
People like me as well. Yes.
Sorry.
And no, that's it, isn't it? Ordinary people like me. That's right.
Yes.
And I think actually that for people who watch and who have what might be described as normal lives, they go to work and they get up in the morning early. It's quite tough, and they get up at 6 and go to work on the train at 7. They live their lives basically for the office, and then they retire, and their lives would have been relatively small. You and I have lived big lives, but we've lived lives that actually have changed us magnificently, and we've had very hard times. So people like you have had hard times. Is that true?
Yeah, you can't go through life, can you, without having a few knocks and a few bruises and a few cuts. And makes you what you are, I think. Sadly, my marriage broke down. That was not part of my plan. But, by the grace of God, I came through it because I had some really good friends who stood by me and helped me. And I had a very young son, and thank God he's turned out fantastically. And he's a Christian. He's got a great voice. I don't know who he takes after, but he's got a great tenor voice. He really has. He gets all the solos in his church choir, and he's very good. And so I've had a very blessed life in that sense, but there's been a few kicks along the way. I think, you just say, well, look at what happened to Jesus, for goodness sake,
Yeah, and this is it, isn't it?
Exactly.
I often think this blessed life that people think. I was speaking to one.
Does that involve being nailed to a cross?
Well, yeah, I know. And this is it. What about all the apostles? All but one tortured and killed, and you kind of think, what do you mean by this? And so I don't. This idea that Christians expect to have some kind of plain sailing life, but
He doesn't promise that anyway.
Never
the Bible never
take
promises
up your cross.
that. Exactly.
Deny
it's
yourself.
a cross.
Take up
yeah.
follow
No
me.
comfy bed. No easy route. No millionaire status. No. It's just absolutely that is it. And I think sometimes, and I've heard some Christians sell the gospel as if it's going to be a cushy life. Turn to Jesus, no problems.
Yeah.
Well, that just is not true.
No.
I mean, we can quote people from the Bible who,
Experientially.
would have gone, what? Excuse me? Yeah. No.
Experientially, it's not true.
That's a good word.
You have
to look that
I mean,
one
but that's the truth.
Of course.
When we look at the three kind of tests of Scripture, we look at it historically, we look at it theologically, we look at it and experientially. We if we experience it and we say, well, hold on, what's our lived life? Our lived life for 95% of the people that are watching this screen now, they live lives where people get ill, they die horribly, they lose their jobs, problems with relationships, blah 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 blah. When you were in the top of your stardom, when you were doing television and radio, you were fated, to mean all that. How did you see your future? Did you ever see your future in ministry?
No. I mean, it came as a surprise to me when I felt the tap on my shoulder. But it was interesting. You don't sort of see it like that when it's actually happening to you, do you? I mean, all the years I was with the group, the 11 years, we were fated. But I mean, come on, we weren't those big stars like there are today. You certainly didn't have any of the glamour that went with quite a lot of the stuff today. But it was a good life. And no, I never thought about what I would do. And it was by accident, she said in quotes, that I fell into radio, which I loved, always have done. And I knew a producer of a radio program who said, come on this program and do something. One thing led to the other. And here I am today. Part way through that, I felt I had a call. And then I thought, I'm not quite sure what
How
that
did
is.
because there are lots of people here who are not of faith who watch this,
Yeah.
who are not Christian. And when people say, I like to just peel back the onion a little on this and just say, what do you mean by the call?
Well, to go and give my life to Jesus to use that happened way back when I was about 15 or 16 in the West Midlands where I lived, and I won't go into detail about. Well, I will actually, because it was wonderful. This guy said to me, I said, "What do you mean? You keep using the phrase born again. You keep using the phrase to be a Christian. This is a Christian country. I'm a Christian, aren't I?" And he sort of said, "Well, look, let me put it this way." He said, have you actually invited God into your life? Have you actually committed yourself to him? And I went, no. He said, well, just read John 3:16. And I went, what? Opened up the Bible. And he said, for God so loved Cindy Kent that he gave his only begotten son. And I thought, wow, that's powerful stuff for me. So I gave my life then and said, use me. And that's what's happened all the way through my life. I feel God has taken me from one thing. You couldn't have planned what I did, Jonathan. No. You couldn't have planned the night that I went to that folk club and met those guys. I mean, looking back, it's like the tapestry, isn't it? It looks great on the front. The back's a bit of a muddle and whatever. But that's how I see my life as being. One thing has led to the other. And it all stems, I think, from saying to God, I'm yours. I am your servant. I'm coming back to that. Use me. Where do you want me to go? I'm not saying I've always listened to him. Maybe I haven't, but I feel I have. And I feel he's been in charge and in control of what's been going on. He's led me to people. He's led me to, and at one point I know what it was. There was a lady had written a book. She'd become a deacon. And I woke up one morning and I thought, I think God's calling me to be a deacon, but I'm not really sure I know what a deacon is. So I went and spoke to my vicar who told me. And so one thing kind of led to the other. And eventually I applied for the priesthood because I felt that was but I was turned down. Now, that was awful because it was a big shock because I felt that's what God was calling me to do. And how have I got it so wrong? And it took me a few years before I tried again. And the time seemed right, and that time I got accepted. And again, one thing has led to the other. That's all I can say. God takes us on a journey, doesn't he? If we put out our hand and take his, he's going to take us where he wants us to go. Sometimes it's rough, husband leaving me, all of that, various things that have happened. But in the end, if we hang on to his hand, I think he brings us through it. Well, I know he does. He's brought me through it all. Now, I don't want to sit here like some Pollyanna going, hey, believe in God, you'll be good. Because it isn't. He doesn't promise us a bed of roses. He promises us a cross of nails sometimes. But you've got to take the rough with the smooth. You've got to say to him, I'm yours, use me. And only then can you really be totally happy. Well, at least that's the way I look at it.
And it's quite that. I mean, that for many people, it's very interesting because what we're seeing now is, and I'll keep going on about this, is a massive rise in the re-attending of churches.
So apparently, yeah.
According to the Bible Society, unless they've got the figures drastically wrong, but we saw it last week in a Pentecostal church. 200 young people in the last year have given their lives to Christ in that one church.
But, and I've got to interrupt you here, that is not true of every church.
Not
so
at all.
I don't want anybody watching or listening to this to think, and I can say for my own church, we haven't seen that sort of increase. And I don't think
it tends to be within the non-conformist churches.
Quite possibly,
tends to be.
Yeah.
But Briley was Justin was talking about.
Yeah.
He came in and talked about his new book, The Surprising Rebirth of Belief in God.
Yeah.
And he was just interviewed about all of this, and he said it's quite phenomenal. There's a phenomenon at the moment where people are interested in the things of God again.
But I don't want anybody watching this who's a vicar in a church like me thinking, why isn't it happening to me? What am I doing wrong? Because we're not. I mean, as long as we're faithful and preaching the word, then, if people come, they come. Don't get me wrong, I'd like to get out on the highways and byways. Where my church is.
Where is your church?
Well, it's in Arkley, just outside Barnet, but it's in the middle of nowhere. It's a very expensive area, gated community, not easy to go and knock on doors. A lot of Jewish, Muslim, Hindu people, big Sikh, a mosque just down the road, and it isn't conducive to getting people in. Elderly people there. you know, I'm not trying to make excuses. I've tried loads of things in the year and a bit I've been there, and I, please God, I'd get inspired to find some other ideas. But I don't want people listening to think, you know, just because their church hasn't tripled in congregation,
that God is not
that
there.
God is not there.
No, and that is a good point you're making. But I think also that there is an increase in, I think in general there had been with the birth of new atheism, Richard Dawkins et al. There was this popular belief that God is dead, and that
Oh, no, he's alive and well.
He's alive and well and kicking.
Yeah.
And it's good to see, because now you've got house for duties. You're not a full-time vicar anymore, are you?
No.
Because you are past the age of 61.
What you were going to say
And,
then?
Only just.
Only just.
Only
Yeah.
just.
Well, I've never actually been paid for being a vicar, because by the time I got ordained, I was over the threshold of when you can get paid. So my first church for 10 years was House for Duty. But I mean, I wouldn't do it if I didn't want to do it. And the one I'm doing now, the huge vicarage, 4-bedroom vicarage.
Oh my goodness.
And 3 big downstairs rooms and a garden.
So your granddaughter's...
She loves it. My little granddaughter absolutely adores coming there, because she plays out and loves everywhere. She's got her own little place there's a place under the attic, you know, a little cupboard from the bedroom that she can go in, and she's got her own little things in there now. She absolutely loves it. Anyway, that's beside the point. So
it's not.
No,
That's
it's
part
not.
of the
It's
point,
part
isn't
of
it?
it.
It's
Yeah,
lovely.
but you've got that. Okay, so you don't get paid, but you know, you do it because you want to. Nobody held a gun to my head and said you would come and do it. I do it because I want to. There are hundreds of people like me, Jonathan. A lot of the churches would close if it wasn't for people doing that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's good.
It's a great thing.
It's a great thing to do, and it's very, very fulfilling. It's very satisfying, and I love my congregation.
What do you find most satisfying then in being a priest?
Getting alongside people, not just in the church, but in the tube, as I was saying earlier on. It's those chance conversations you have with people, because they look at you differently with a dog collar on. And it is the old story, if you want a quiet journey. You know, there's the old joke about the guy on the plane, isn't there? And he has a seat next to him, and he wears a big collar and a big Bible in his hand, and he pats the seat next to him and says, "Come and sit here." And of course, nobody does, so he gets the seats to himself. But it is true, though. If 2 people do talk to you on the tube, well, they talk to me anyway, and they ask all sorts of things that they wouldn't necessarily ask anybody. They don't probably know a vicar to go and ask. And so you do, and by the time you've dealt with one point, you know, somebody else across the other side is asking you another one. That's what's satisfying. It's also satisfying dealing with my congregation, who are there every week. They're so lovely. I think they'd walk over hot coals if I thought it was a good idea to do. But I'm not going to do that. It's just because of where we are. It's never going to be a very, very populated church.
No, that's good. Your journey into faith, into the priesthood.
Yes.
As a woman. Now let's just
you
talk about this. Well, you know, there was a massive furore at the time.
Yeah.
And of the incumbents that are coming in now, the majority are female. And you had, from what you'd said to me, you had a bit of a time of it.
Well,
I mean, you could be honest and say what you felt about it, because a lot of people out there are not used to a female pastor or vicar, and you know, tell us about your journey for that.
Well, I was the first woman to be ordained in the Diocese of Edmonton, where I was. The bishop who dealt with me first of all was very passionate anti-women, so that didn't help.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, but then the second time round, the guy, although he wasn't in favour of women priests, was very good and saw me through it. So all credit to him, because he put his own feelings to one side and helped me through it. But I was told the wrong time of meetings and the wrong place of meetings. People were just really not very pleasant. And I heard worse stories than that from some of my...
Really?
Oh, yes, around the country. People, they're not treated very well. Now it's not so bad. We're not the novelty we were. You know.
What is it? What was that about? Where does that come from?
Well, Jesus only chose men, you see. That's the thing. 12 men. What was the... Hang on, sorry. Let's just think about, you know. But that was...
So because the disciples were men...
Yeah.
Well, it was culturally...
Well,
of course it was
was.
unlikely.
They don't accept that. No, Jesus would have broken with convention, you see, had that been the case. So they've got an answer to everything. But fortunately, things have changed. What I worry about, if I can just share this thought with you, I don't know how you feel. I mean, we're all thinking about who's going to be the next Archbishop of Canterbury.
Here we are.
And several people are saying it's probably going to be a woman, because it can be. And I worry about that a bit. I think it should be a woman because it
Disaster.
should be, and because that's the right person for the job. And it worries me that there'll be this. Oh yeah, we can now. I don't know. Maybe I'm being silly.
No, look, there are two women in this room. Sue, what do you think?
Oh, I
Before
totally agree with Cindy that actually it has to be the right person,
Of course.
not just a woman
Yeah.
for the sake of it, because that's actually a road to disaster for me.
Yeah, yeah.
think.
I mean, maybe there is a woman that's
Yes,
God's
and
got
that
it
would be
called,
fantastic.
and that would be, but chosen for that reason.
Yes.
We'll never know, of course. We just have
it's
to.
always when, and I record this publicly here now, right? I speak as one who has objected to tokenism from the beginning. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's positive discrimination is a disaster.
Yeah.
I know why they've done it. I know why the American market started it. And because black people were so disadvantaged in employment, I understand all of that. I do
Yeah.
understand why.
Yeah.
But speaking as a person with a brown skin, in my business, the last thing I ever wanted was to be just put into the place. We'll give him a chance. We'll give it because he's got a brown skin.
Yeah.
I wanted to be the baritone that got the job, or the singer that got the job,
Sure.
because of my value, because of the quality of my not because of the colour of my skin, nothing, only because of what I actually brought
Yeah,
to the
I
table.
totally agree.
So women, for me, it's got nothing to do with. I said to Sue, I think it will probably be a woman, because I think the hierarchy will go that way, and I suspect the media would give them hell if it didn't. If they don't, I think
Possibly,
it would be
yeah,
very much the media will give them hell. The BBC do not want want to see a woman in there, but then if the woman was in there, then they give them hell as well. So I
Can't
don't
win, really.
It's a lose-lose situation with the media. So therefore, don't pander to the media. Simply do the right thing.
Yes,
Do
it
the
does
right
worry
thing.
me though that the church is facing an uncertain future in so many ways. Churches are emptying in lots of parts of the country.
Massively.
Some they're not, and some they are. We need somebody to take the reins.
Yes.
That is going to say, let's try this, let's try that. Not wipe the slate clean and let's start all over again. I'm not saying that, but come up with some ideas. If I can be absolutely honest, I've never been a great fan of the guy who's just stepped down.
Why not?
I don't know. I've met several since. I think Robert Runcie was the first. No, Coggan was the
Coggan,
first one. I
yeah.
met. Then Robert Runcie,
Yeah,
who
never met him.
baptised my son.
Oh my
He
goodness.
was. He became a great friend. We were on a committee together, and I'd had James, and I just jokingly said something about. And he said, "Oh, I'd love to come and baptise him." So he came to our church rather than go to
ABC,
Canterbury.
yeah.
ABC, there he was, and he was just. Robert Runcie was one of the nicest people ever. I'm trying to remember who followed him. Was it Rowan Williams?
Williams.
Williams was lovely. I've been to
No, Carey.
George Carey,
Carey.
yes, knew him. In fact, we're still on a committee together. He and I, we were together just recently. He came to a funeral that I was taking.
And did you find? I found him ineffective. I thought he was. I didn't particularly think he was great, but Williams, I did.
Rowan Williams, lovely.
Was a stunning man, but such an intellectual.
Oh, I
he
know,
found
I
it
know.
difficult to disseminate information down
I
to.
think so. But I interviewed
what a
both him
man.
and Jane. Absolutely lovely people. What a
Gorgeous
gorgeous
people.
couple. And I know he prayed for me the day I went for my ordination.
Yeah.
Because they told me, and I thought that was so special that they took the time to tell me that was going to happen.
Do you know what? I felt he was one of the greats.
Yes.
One of the greats, because he had such a great understanding
Yeah.
of the Bible history, the way that the church history practiced people, human beings, but his intellect was so great
Yeah.
that it was difficult to disseminate the information down to the grassroots. The future of the church. I mean, you're going to retire eventually and not take up another. I don't know. Will you?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Least of all, Cindy.
But we have to. I think actually that also there comes a moment. I think in history, which has been proved, that churches have their moments, and God works through churches.
Oh, yeah.
Some churches
Yeah.
and moves on. And I think actually that no church is unassailable. There comes a point where if that church is going a way that is not the way of the gospel, then eventually what happens is, if other priorities are more important than the gospel of Jesus, then I think actually that's when the church, if it becomes a massive, the most important thing is the jumble sale or a barometer outside the building or keeping the roof up. And that is not keeping the stained glass windows stained. That's not the biggest thing on God's heart. I have to tell you that right now. I don't think so, and but
I'm sure God loves a jumble sale.
I'm sure He does. As long as it's a jumble sale,
A Christian jumble
Christian
sale.
jumble 5 to 10.
Oh,
my
good
goodness.
heavens! Where has the time gone?
What I'm going to sing a song before we go, and it's a song called "God of the Moon and Stars." God of the near and far, God of the fragile hearts we are, we come to you. And it's a song about the acceptance that God has for everybody, whoever they are. And it has a line in there, God of the pimp and paedophile.
As we said just earlier.
Yeah.
We've already talked about it.
We've talked about it. And I think it's that openness
Yes.
that I find that you have towards people is engaging. It's always been. Have you got a final word for people? Encouragement, something that you just want to say to people about that being open to people?
Oh, give me preparation, yeah.
No. Anything.
Well, at the risk of repeating myself, I just want to finish by saying that phrase that I used earlier on, that there is nothing we can do today to make God love us less or more. And I think we have to tell ourselves that sometimes, because we're not very good, are we, sometimes, at believing in oh, surely God can't love me, if you knew what I'd done. I hear that phrase like, Vicar, then, but that's not true, and we know that's not true. But sometimes, even as very committed Christians, I think we have to tell ourselves that occasionally, that God loves us, that He's there with us, that He's just a prayer away, to use a terrible cliche, but it's true, isn't it? And that we need to feel that we're valued, and in His sight we are. I see you. It's back to that, isn't it? Can't get away from those ideas that God says, Cindy, I see you. Jonathan, I see. And that isn't that wonderful to think the Maker of the stars and sea loves me. I mean, I find that quite powerful sometimes. I have to pinch myself and say, isn't that wonderful? And if we give ourselves to Him, He will use us.
And you've reflected that all the time I've known you, in the years that I've known you. You have always reflected that, and I've been very proud to know you, and thrilled that you were able to take the time. And I think actually everybody out there needs to know that she's come from North London today, and she did a service.
You make it sound like it's in the back and beyond.
Well, it is.
Well, it's
I used to live
north of the
there.
river.
And it's a long way. But you had a service this morning at 9
Two
at 8 o'clock.
services.
2 services this morning.
Yeah, one at 9, one at 10:30.
One at 10:30. And then you came on, saw your sister, and then you came to us.
I did.
And we're all tired, and she's staying the night, and I hope she can sleep well. She's brought a toothbrush. We'll go in and have a cup of tea or something slightly stronger, a cup of tea with sugar, and then we will go to bed. But it's been a delight having you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us, the first guest in our new.
Yes, I feel very honoured.
I know, it's incredible. It's lovely to be out here in our soundproof studio and making the most of singing with us.
Just one request.
What?
Will you invite me back?
I would love to have
Definitely.
you back. We got to plan a sing song. That's what we got to do. Just sit at the piano and play and sing.
Sounds good.
We'll take some of the songs that you've done, the ones that that you did with the Seekers.
Ooh.
No, there'll never be another one.
I'm not sure I'll come back if I'm invited.
And you've got to learn Follyfoot then.
Oh, okay.
Down in
Down,
the thingy.
and the worst thing about that song, though, was all the verses began with the words "down in the meadow where." Something happened.
Isn't that the worst? Isn't that the worst?
It was one of
Oh, I
those
can never
moments.
remember this song. I've sung it since 2003, and I still have the words. I'm going to ask you to put this camera off. I'm going to walk into the camera. Just put the song up on the backing track, and I'll walk into.
And
into the
this
shop.
one is especially for Mary. Dear Mary, your birthday's on Thursday. Thank you so much for all that you did to make yesterday so wonderful, Mary. And we love you, and we just want to say happy birthday for Thursday.
God of the moon and stars, God of the near and far, God of the fragile hearts we are, I come to you. God of our history, God of the future that will be, what will you make of me? I come to you. God of the meek and mild, God of the reckless and the wild, God of the unreconciled, I come to you. God of our life and death, God of our secrets unconfessed, God of our every living breath, I come to you. God of the rich and poor, God of the princess and the whore, God of the ever open door, I come to you. God of the unborn child, God of the pure and undefiled, God of the outcast and reviled, I come to you. God of the war and peace, God of the junkie and the priest, God of the greatest and the least, I come to you. God of the refugee, God of the prisoner and the free, God of our doubt and certainty, I come to you. God of our joy and grief, God of the loyal and the thief, God of our faith and unbelief, I come to you. God of the wounds we bear, God of the deepest dreams we share, God of our unspoken prayer, I come to you. God of a world that's lost, God of a lonely, lonely cross, God who has come to us, we come to you. Go peaceful in gentleness through the violence of these days. You freely show tenderness in all your ways. Through darkness, in troubled times, let holiness be your aim. Seek wisdom, let faithfulness burn like a flame. God speed you, God lead you, and keep you wrapped around His heart. May you be known by love. Be righteous, speak truthfully in a world of greed and lies. Show kindness, see everyone through heaven's eyes. God hold you, enfold you, and keep you wrapped around His heart. May you be known by love.
Well, we're not going to see you for a week or two or whatever it is.
3 weeks, I think it
3
is.
weeks.
The 25th is the next one. So,
And so as we go, we send you, as we have done the last 170 weeks with this
yes,
song.
something
And
like that. Yes.
that, remember, I wrote this one, and it was like
You
this.
did.
Well, God wrote it first,
Yes.
and then I kind of put the tune to it, put it more accurately. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you His peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you His peace, and give you His peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn His face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn His face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you, and be gracious to you. Well, you've been a lovely audience. Didn't I tell you we got the best? Cindy, what a guest.
Oh,
You can put
people
the,
have so enjoyed seeing you
Can
and
you
listening
put
to
her
you,
on the
Cindy.
camera, please?
You've,
Put Cindy on the camera.
yes, there she is. Yes.
So, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and give you His peace, and give you His peace again, and give you His peace. Until we meet again, have a lovely time these next few days, these next few weeks. And we give big love to you, darling. Thank you for joining us. And big love to Sue this week. She's got a busy week, and I've got
a few funerals this
concerts
week.
and stuff that are happening. Until that time, we see you again. Watch this again if you want to get some more blessing. And watch others on the channel, on the JV channel. Remember, subscribe tonight. Push that button and get more and more stuff. There you are. It's time for me to take my tablets. God bless you. Good night.